Last time, on a strange case of moemorphism, we talked about Hinamoto Oniko, a gijinka created by Japanese internet users in opposition to anti-Japanese expression in China. However, as perplexed as those reactions by Chinese netizens were, turning random things into anime girls isn't an unfamiliar concept to people in the country. I mean, turning ethnic slurs into cute anime girls is something no one expected, but this video isn't about that. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at a classic and, I dare say, legendary gijinka of Chinese origin, the Green Dam Girl. In May of 2009, the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology issued a directive stating that all personal computers sold in mainland China would soon be required to have a new content control software preloaded with the machine as of July of that year. This program would be known as the Green Dam Youth Escort, or
绿坝花季护航.
绿坝花季护航 in the original Chinese. To summarize, this program was meant to filter out pornographic and violent material for young users. However, it didn't quite pan out the way the government intended it to. Firstly, I don't think you will be surprised when I say this project was very controversial. But before even mentioning the overall reception, the program itself contained numerous issues and defects. So, gentlemen, how long do you think you have? I'll try to make this as quick as possible. Okay, so there was incompatibility with certain programs and OSs, so it straight up doesn't work if you use a Mac or Firefox. The forceful closure of programs such as Microsoft Word without warning, so bye-bye hours of work for no good reason. Easily crackable master passwords, which was said to be crackable even by elementary students. Software plagiarism and copyright violations, which they later got sued for. The image recognition just being pretty terrible with the nudity of certain skin tones not being filtered, and the filtering of safe content. And finally, there were major security vulnerabilities which put your entire computer at the mercy of whoever could install malicious code, which happened whenever the program would update its blacklist filter or just filter URLs. Also, the amount of money the government put into the project was 41.7 million yuan, which adjusted for inflation would be about 56 million yuan in 2022. That's a whopping
11.7 million.
dollary dues, or this much in other currencies if I've done the calculation right. This was a point that a lot of the public criticized the project for. There were some groups and individuals who were in favor of the project. However, as expected, the response to the program by the majority of Chinese netizens was overall negative, with some very thought-provoking comments being made, a lot of which did actually raise some striking questions about internet censorship, with plenty of interesting perspectives being presented. Now, I could delve into more of the criticism, but I know you aren't here for that. You're here for the anime girls. So let's do that. Let's talk about the anime girls. Because it's the internet, gijinka of anything computer-based is very popular. So popular in fact that official companies occasionally use them to promote their products. It's then no surprise that someone had the idea to turn this particular program into an anime girl. Since her first appearance in 2009, there have been many designs created of Green Dam Girl, or as she's known in Chinese,
绿坝娘.
绿坝娘. Common features of the character include green clothing, a river crab hat, an armband with the word discipline on it, a rabbit in arm in reference to the Green Dam mascot, and a paintbrush with paint bucket in hand, sometimes containing soy sauce, used to wipe out online filth. The inclusion of the river hat on the character is very intentional. In spoken Chinese, the word for river crab,
和谐.
和谐, sounds very similar to the word for harmonious,
和谐.
和谐, the Chinese government's euphemism for a society without unrest, controversy, or opposition. This has led to river crab becoming a synonym for censorship within China's cyberspace, which explains the presence of the symbol on her. As you can tell, a lot of aspects and traits of the character are inspired by the original program. Another example would be her 99% American ancestry in reference to the code and files taken from American programs within the Green Dam Youth Escort software. She is said to be the typical
天然呆
tie ren dai, a word that doesn't really have a direct English equivalent. It is the Chinese equivalent to the Japanese phrase
天然ボケ
tennen boke, and roughly means something like naturally cute from limited common sense or natural airhead. This, of course, is inspired by the program's low accuracy in distinguishing safe and unsafe material. Green Dam Girl is sometimes depicted beside OS-tan characters, which are a very popular variety of Gijinka based on computer operating systems, first appearing around the late 90s and early 2000s. In reference to the software's capabilities, she loves to bully XP-tan and Internet Explorer-tan, but cannot bully Vista-tan or Firefox-tan. It has been pointed out that many of the depictions of the character greatly resemble that of Nitori Kawashiro from Toho Project, and this is very apparent in earlier designs. However, later designs tend to deviate from that appearance, with many different artists coming up with their own interpretations of Green Dam. I'm especially fond of Green Dam Girl by ALS Sugara Sakari over on Pixiv. Their interpretation of the character is probably one of the most divergent Green Dams out there, with practically no reference to that childish censorship program that we all know and love. This is just one example of all the amazing and gorgeous works people have made with Green Dam Girl, and there's a whole lot more where that came from. In October 2009, an independent fan wiki was created to record and collect information on the Green Dam Girl and related content. The site later changed to its current name, Moegirlpedia, expanding its scope to cover other works and media within the ACGN subculture, and is now one of the largest Chinese language online encyclopedias dealing with popular culture. In addition to the original Chinese site, there are also Japanese and English versions of the site as well. If you want to get started on finding Green Dam Girl content, Moegirlpedia is the place to go, the Chinese language site that is. The English version is a lot more barren. Upon doing a little digging, you'll realize the amount of content made with and for this character is staggering. Music, videos, comics, games, novels, cosplays. People absolutely love making stuff for this character. When starting this video, I was quite worried whether there would be enough meaningful content to make a good video. After all, there wasn't really much information on Green Dam Girl in the English web. However, upon seeing a glimpse of the amount of Green Dam Girl content on the Chinese internet, I can safely say that this character is, or at least was, very popular. In all seriousness, the real message I have learnt from researching this is just to learn another language. Turns out knowing another language gives you access to so much more media and content that you would otherwise have difficulty accessing. Who knew? Researching with a language barrier is like researching with nearsightedness. Sure, there is machine translation, but without proper glasses, i.e. understanding of the language, you'll end up missing a lot, and it's hard to get the full picture. Every time I go and research Green Dam, the larger she seems to become. Even when recording and editing this video, I'm still not sure of the extent of Green Dam Girl's popularity and influence. If there wasn't a language barrier, this video could have probably turned out even better. Heck, even with all the time I spent researching, I've probably missed out on some of the best Green Dam content out there. Like, look at this manhwa I found titled 人形代码绿
人形代码绿
or Dolls Code Green. That is some pretty art, and I want to read that. Please, someone translate this stuff. That would be amazing. On that note, I might as well highlight the other cool things I ended up finding. Okay, so here's a thing you can do. Go to Bilibili and then search up Libanyang and you're guaranteed to find a lot of interesting video content. For example, here are 4 videos I would like to show off. First is 绿伴娘之歌
绿伴娘之歌
by Jiuxiu, meaning Song of Green Dam Girl, based on the Toho song Petan. How do I say this without singing it actually? Petan, Petan, Siri Petan. There's a lot of song covers and parodies of this character, by the way. I just wanted to choose this one because it's very well done and one of the first being released in 2009. Next we jump 4 years to 2013 and Green Dam Girl's 4th anniversary with, oh god, 西南人还有人记得他吗
？4年了，还有人记得她吗？
Which translates to 4 years later, does anyone still remember her? This video, well, how do I put it? It's a combination of somber music and great visual storytelling by the artist part. Really gave me the feels, is what I'll say. It's the story of Green Dam Girl from her perspective, and it's honestly quite a tragic one. Watch the video in full and you'll understand. After that, Green Dam appears in the original collaboration song
无限循环季2014
Wu Han Jin Quan Yi 2014, meaning Infinite Loop Festival 2014. As the name implies, it is a series of videos released in different years worked on by multiple people and uploaded by animator
平安夜的噩梦
Ping Yang Ye De Ung Meng, their name meaning Nightmare on Christmas Eve. These mashups of animation and music feature a variety of memes singing on stage, and they're good fun. Green Dam also appears in the 2011 one, but is absent from the latest one in 2019.
向前派出，城中只有城关，只要我一个电话，查封所有新番。死宅擦边，分分钟把你和谐。
The last video I'll present is from last year in 2021, and it's Green Dam's cover of Kanadia's King, arranged by user
天助小艺
Jingshu Zhaoyi. This is also just another damn good cover of this song with, I would say, way too many covers, but you can never have enough King covers. By the way, I'll reiterate, this was released last year. Let's pause for a moment because I bet some of you are wondering what happened to the actual program now that we have traveled 12 years into the future. Well, jumping back, it was announced on June 30th, 2009, 2 days before the mandatory preload would have taken effect, that the directive would be delayed to an undetermined date due to public pressure. Another announcement was made on August the 14th, stating that manufacturers and retailers no longer needed to ship machines with the software, and that the program was only to be required for public use computers, such as those in schools and internet cafes. In July 2010, the Beijing Times reported that the Green Dam project under Beijing Daxiang, one of the 2 companies responsible for the development and support of the program, had been disbanded, with their office shut down due to a lack of state funding since 2009. The other company, Zhengzhou Jinhui, was also due to suffer the same fate at the time of reporting. As of 2021, the website of Green Dam Youth Escort is now defunct, and it's safe to say that support for the program ceased a very long time ago. While activity on the character will have theoretically slowed down, as that's just how things tend to be on the internet, what impresses me is there's still people out there who are still continuing to produce content even 12 years later. There is an article on Moe Girlpedia, which is a timeline on Green Dam Girl, and yeah, that's a lot of stuff over a lot of years. It says a lot when a silly character created to satire a government-mandated product survives longer than the actual thing ever did. When looking at some older videos of Green Dam Girl, I saw a lot of comments writing about archaeology, which describes what this video is all about perfectly. by myself, this is all the archaeology I've been able to do. But again, with my limitations, there's likely a lot more information that I haven't come across yet. But I think I've done my part to bring attention to this wonderful creation, or rather, multiple creations, because that's the charm of these kinds of meme characters. Green Damn Girl is a character made by fans of the ACGN subculture, and it is this community that has made her so enduring. I don't think anyone would have expected a Gijinka for such a short-lived product to have lasted this long, but here we are. Perhaps this video will capture the attention of someone who fondly remembers the golden age of Lu Banyang. But to all of you, thanks for sticking around. Before I leave, I want to add quickly that there's also an equivalent Indonesian Gijinka created in 2015 for another web filtering service known as Ipolchan, which is a very funny coincidence. Moemorphism is truly international.